So KG, I've known you now for a while. You're 21.
Yep.
When did we meet?
I think I was 14 going to 15 in middle school, around there.
You were young.
Yeah.
You were in my practice. We met. So much has changed since you were a young fella at 14 years old, and now you're 21, and the change is wild. You got a beard, for crying out loud.
I had to trim it.
Yeah, but I think back to the days when we started working together in my office, that you had just been struggling along, and that was kind of the beginning of how you and I developed our relationship.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about that time in your life?
Very insecure. Didn't know what I want to do. It actually all started because I was in gym class and some girl came over, told one of my friends, "Wow, you've gotten pretty big." Like, I don't know how to react. Like, that's the first time someone's ever said it. Like, I knew my weight.
Right. You mean it was a weight issue that you were talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I was around 210 pounds. Felt like crap every day. Wasn't really myself entirely. Then my friend told me what she said. I wanted to go home, bawled out.
Yeah.
Called my mom. She came and picked me up. Just started crying, didn't know what to do. And I told her I wanted to start working out, understand nutrition, and she was so supportive.
Yeah. And you found me.
Yep.
I think back then, there's a lot of young people today that are the victims of either blatant bullying or, just the inability of kids to be sensitive because they don't have enough life experience. And it causes pain and hurt. And obviously, when you and I met, you had to make some pains. Your mom had brought you in for me to check you out. But I remember when you were laying on my bench, and it was evident that you were conscious about your weight and that you're trying to fix your clothes in a way that you could kind of close it off so nobody could see it. And
I feel more comfortable.
Yeah, right. And I'm like, oh, man, I don't want to see anybody have to suffer like that through that. And I remember you asked me, do I know any good nutritionists? And that was kind of the thing that got us to go, hey, wait a minute, what's going on here? He wants to get rid of some of this weight and build himself up. And during those times, you and I had a lot of time to communicate and to talk, and we started changing some things. And what were some of the first changes that you made to get yourself back on track?
Stayed away from boxed foods. Stay on the outside of the grocery store.
Yeah.
Just eat fresh foods that are actually beneficial to your body, and not just that crappy chemicals that you don't know what you're putting in your body. Like, you can definitely feel a difference when you eat that crap.
Yeah.
And then go and eat clean for like a week. You feel like a whole nother person. I don't know how to explain it. So,
do you think anybody could do what you did?
Of course.
Yeah. It was just a matter of refocusing, wasn't it?
And mindset.
Yeah.
What you want. Like,
how did you know what you wanted back then? What was it that all of a sudden you just caught on fire?
I was just
fed up.
Yeah. I just had enough.
Yeah. Isn't it funny, Kevin, how just people, when it's their time to wake up, hopefully they do, and you did, right? It was your time at 14 years of age. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it takes people, a lot longer, let's just put it that way, maybe decades to wake up and go, I don't like what I've created. And that is the key, right?
Yeah.
We create ourselves. We're here, we're born, and then we create something. And by the time you hit 14, you were like, okay, I'm not digging what I'm creating here. I need a navigator because I'm willing to drive, right? You are willing to do the work, but you need someone to help you to understand how to get to where you want to go.
Exactly.
And that was our relationship together. We started to bond, and that was a great time for both of us, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I can speak from my perspective. I enjoyed having you in there.
You're definitely a big part of my life.
Yeah, appreciate that.
And definitely an eye-opener on a lot of things. Introducing me to a workout place.
Yeah.
That I still go there.
Yeah. Go ahead and press them right now. Give them a little extra.
Cressy Sports Performance.
There you go. Eric Cressy. He's also one of the most influential people in my life as well. He provided so many wonderful opportunities to learn and to be better at being an athlete, to be better at taking care of my own physical body. And I had the desire, as you did as well. And man, when you take a place like Cressy Performance and you put it together in your life, wow, you're at the tops of your physical fitness. And is your physical fitness now, obviously, I look at you now and there's no sign of that chubby kid at 14 anymore. Yeah. There's this strong, young, intelligent guy who's kicking ass in life. And are you still training like that?
Of course, I don't feel 100% in my body. I mean, it's all mental. You just have to tell yourself, like, this is your body. This is what you have. You have to work with it.
Yeah.
You can't just go around and feel like, why am I not someone else? Right. But in reality, that's your body for the rest of your life. Like, you better just love it, you know?
You better take care of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was the thing that I noticed about you early on was you listened, and then you put in the work, and then we saw some changes. We saw it pretty fast for you.
Yeah.
Your weight started to come down, and because, you know, you and I had this conversation that you just didn't have a lot of that male hormone yet, which was testosterone, which kind of leads our ship in the right direction, our physical bodies, as men, right? But then we look at you back then, and I go, okay, so he's got some time to mature in the physical realm of the body because the hormones haven't hit it. But if they hit it and you're already doing the things that are going to be good for you for the rest of your life, then it starts to happen fast, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It really did too. Do you remember when I gave that presentation at the town hall?
Oh, of course.
My brother Paul and I were talking about you last night. I said, KG's coming on. He goes, was that young kid that was at that presentation? I said, yeah. I said, I think of you, and I see you sitting out there with those wide eyes, and I had, introduced you to the crowd, and here you are again, introduced another time. Nobody would know. If they saw you then and saw you now, they'd be like, who is this young man? My wife said to me, KG's hot. He's a stud. I go, honey, calm down. She goes, no, I mean, he's built and he's strong. He looks amazing. I go, because he wanted it, obviously. So I'm going to ask you a question. Who is it you're hanging out with? Are you hanging out with other people that have this understanding of where they want to be in life and this sense of humility, or what's your tribe looking like these days?
So definitely playing showcase baseball and just hanging out with people that want to play.
Yeah.
It's just the people who you surround yourself with. They were very supportive, especially at like Cressy Sports Performance.
Yeah.
You're around people who know what they want. They want to go to college, play baseball.
Right.
And playing baseball in college, you have to have a mindset. You can't just fuck around and just party constantly and just not put in the work. You're just not going to get any results.
Right.
And my mentality is, I get to do this once in my life, right? And you only have 4 or 5 years of college, COVID, but
yeah, right.
But why not go out with a bang?
Right.
Do your best. Look back. I gave it all I got. And
it has to last your lifetime.
Yeah.
In these wonderful times, I mean, obviously you and I are both college guys. We went to college. We go to college. I went to college. You go to college. It's that type of thing that it stays with you for a lifetime. Mm-hmm. So you got to make the most out of those moments that you're in and make the best out of those moments. Because if college is a crappy experience, that might stick with you for a long time.
Yeah.
But, going to school initially, you took off and left. Where'd you go?
New Mexico Junior College.
Yeah.
It was a good experience.
What'd you learn?
Independence.
Oh.
How to deal with different people, diversity, an eye-opening of different people in the world. Because if I just stayed in Massachusetts all my life and just nowhere else, just New England in general,
you'd be a masshole.
I just wouldn't know other people out there are just different, and how to deal with them, actually just knowing how to deal with them and how to adapt into different situations. And
you've developed and potentially had this all along, though. It's emotional intelligence. You see things a little deeper, with a little bit more texture than maybe somebody else in your same peer group. You're 21 now?
Yeah.
So you're 21, you look at something. A lot of 21-year-olds that I've, gotten to know, their perspective is a little different than mine, and maybe a little different than yours, right? They do want to party, and yet they're also kind of bummed out that they're not getting everything they want. But are they driven to go for it? I don't know. I hope they are. But then I meet somebody like you, or I know somebody like you, and I go, this is the next leader, because out of your generation, there's going to be people that will go to the moon. But if they don't understand emotional intelligence over academic intelligence, man, what is the difference? Well, academic intelligence is estimated to be worth about 75% of what really fuels you and makes you great. Excuse me, academic is 25%. 75% is emotional intelligence and selling yourself, so to speak, selling that thing that is you, that you learned in school. When I say sell, I mean get people to come on and listen to you, that will take what you say and make something of it and follow you. Why not? You make sense. So having academics is important, but if you can learn how to emotionally apply it with other people, that's the key. You remember, let's just say this. You walked into my company and you're looking for a job. You give me a resume. It's a good resume. It's strong. Well, I got 50 others just like yours. So why you? Well, because I got a 3.95 GPA. So what? I got 5 of these people. I got 4 O's. Tell me why. Then you tell them something like, well, can we be real here? Sure, that's what I'm looking for. Life hasn't always been good, and I learned that really fast, that life is going to suck sometimes, and that's the greatest time for me to learn. I want to come on board for this company, and I'm not going to just sit around and wait for the good times. I'm going to take on the bad times and all of these important projects that we have that are ripping my brain out, and I'm going to give you 1,000,000% because that's who I am, because I'm a problem solver, not a problem creator. You win. They're like, are you kidding me? That's what it takes sometimes. And then we take your resume and we appreciate it, we put it in a drawer, and then we watch the man lead, watch the man work with others and make a difference in the world today. And that's what I want so much for your young generation. And that's the kind of guy that you are. But how did you get all this? Who was it that was your main influence in life? It had to happen at home, I assume. Or at least start there.
Honestly, I don't know.
What do you think?
I just find this world very interesting. I just don't know what to make of it. I've been trying to find answers, how we were created, you can break it down to science or you can go to religion. Yeah. But I want the cold, hard facts. Like the end result, like what is the actual reason we're here to this day? Like
it's how a hard question, isn't it?
Yeah. No one knows.
No one knows.
You can go into science. You can go into atoms, molecules, all that. Like, okay, but we made up all that to indicate that's what we're focused. Like, that's what it is. Yeah. But we don't know.
Well, it's what it is, but we don't know what's potentially driving it all.
Yes.
Right? And it's like, that's the question for, I assume that people have been asking since the inception of man itself. And this is our desire for something greater than us, because it has to be when you look around and go, wow. But then sometimes we act in such crappy and awful ways which alienate us from all that's good. We wind up on the dung heap of life going, what's wrong? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with you is you don't know who you are, and you're trying to be like something else that seems to fit and seems to feel good today. It's called a fad. And then later you go, I'm not that. And then you do it again and again and again. You repeat the cycle until you get to a point in your life where you're like, what is this all about? This is a garbage shit show. I don't know what to do now. And you need to be stripped down naked, so to speak, emotionally sometimes to realize you don't know shit. Yeah. And why not just be the person that you are? Well, I like cars. I like excitement. Well, then be it. I don't care if everybody in the world tells you you're out of your mind. They probably told Jeff Fuller and all of the great guys that raced in NASCAR, they've told them the same thing. What did they say? Oh, I don't care what you think. I'm going to do what makes me feel incredible. And in those moments, I assume that you probably already had this, that some answers begin to come. Not the definitive ones, but they're kind of like little teeny steps along what's the word I'm looking for? The Yellow Brick Road. I'm thinking of the Wizard of Oz, right? It's one simple step at a time. Mm-hmm. And you just keep going and going. And then the forest seems to get really bright and you go, wow, I love it here. And then what happens? you get bitch slapped by life, right? And all of a sudden it's dark again. You're like, what do I do with this? In your generation, I'm trying to help them to see, please don't give up when it sucks. That's the most important time. That's when you learn everything, right?
Yeah.
You're a baseball athlete. So you played high school and baseball athletics, and you were one of the leaders on the team. You were the catcher and the guy that pretty much was the glue that kept it together. Mm-hmm. And you told me a story once about a young man that was really losing his mind on your team, and he was struggling with his academics. Nobody knew what was going on, and he wound up alienating himself from the other team, from the other players on the team. And you sat him down and like, what is the deal with you? And that was the key. Do you remember that story that you told me? Tell me that again, because it was so good.
So I told him, this is high school, right?
Yeah.
And you're gonna want to go to college, right? He's like, yeah. I'm like, why not enjoy this moment with us and just do your best? Just cheer on us, anything. Like we'll just work your ass off out there. Right. Like we're all in this together. Like no one's out there to attack you or anything. It's all in your head. You just literally need to put your head down and just grind.
Yeah.
Like being lazy, I mean, we all have our days.
Right. Well, we need a reboot. I'm going to stay in bed today.
But I don't see a reason why you should just stay in bed all day and just beat yourself up, because you have one life. Might as well make the best of it.
No doubt.
And so I would help him like with schoolwork, or help him out with like going to these teachers. Hey, go see them. Like they help me. Right. Like all you have to do is just talk. Tell them what's going on. People are understanding. They're just humans. They're just like us. I mean, it doesn't make a difference. They're just older. That's it. Right. They have more experience.
But they may still have a lot of insecurities as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I just told them, like, it might seem awkward in the moment, like asking for help. But in the end, you need to like benefit yourself. Like you have to put in the work, ask for it.
Right.
No one's just going to give it to you.